Well. For those of you in attendance right now on this live stream, still awake on the East Coast, as I was about to sleep, I've been up pretty much all day. Monday, the end of October, James Harden officially gonna get traded to the Los Angeles Clippers. And we waited exactly a week till the start of the NBA season to finally do that. Can you believe it? It's something that we anticipated from him bashing on Daryl Morey, telling him that he's a liar. We all knew that James Harden wasn't going to be a Sixer much longer, but we just don't know when. And of course, the Sixers, they didn't want him to play in Milwaukee. And of course, the fines, who cares about that now? Now that we got that shit out of the way, James Harden to LAC, teaming up with Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Russell Westbrook, Tyronn Lue. Ty Lue is going to be the coach that James Harden must listen to because Ty Lue is a player coach. He's going to get on James Harden's ass for being lazy. So thank you guys so much for joining in right here. If you're feeling sleepy, let me get you awake. The rich just got richer. Steve Ballmer can't keep himself calmer. A crazy summer fallout with Daryl Morey. October 31st, 2 a.m. Eastern. We got a story. LAC aiming for all the glory from the days of Corey, Maggette, Wilson Tsai hopping on the Blue Yeti. James Harden from choking in Boston Garden. No more Philly. I beg you pardon. 2024, 2 months away. Are we sure? Clippers got a strong core. Clapping at those strip clubs. The beer better not wake up sore like Dwight Howard. Can he pace himself, be efficient like a Honda Accord? Are we sure? Are we sure? Are we sure? So, the Clippers, Kawhi, PG, and James Harden. James Harden's probably not going to be an all-star. He's going to be the guy that has to facilitate and balance everybody out. Throughout Kawhi and PG's time, they were lacking a true point guard. And James Harden last season, he did lead the league in assists. He's going to play a lot with a Vitzel Zubac. So that pick and roll is going to be deadly. We all know how good James Harden is with big men, but can James Harden be willing to do all the little things? Who's going to be the one that's going to sacrifice the most on this team? It's going to be interesting. Harden and Westbrook, we've seen that movie before. Kawhi and Paul George. Kawhi and Paul George are both pretty good shooters. Russell Westbrook is not a shooter at all. It'd be interesting to see how Ty Lue can manage the minutes of Harden and Russell Westbrook. It's going to be interesting stuff. But the Clippers are loaded. So right now, as I'm speaking, if anyone has seen who the trade is for, because I haven't seen that. I only saw James Harden getting traded to the Clippers. I'm assuming they gave up Terrence Mann and maybe some random picks. They probably maybe gave up Marcus Morris too. I don't know, man. I don't know. The Clippers, they know that this is the last shot. It's going to depend on whether Kawhi Leonard and Paul George is fully healthy. And if they want to be fully healthy, they've been on their best behavior. They're 3 for 3 to start this season, and they haven't really missed any games yet. So if the Los Angeles Clippers can be serious and ignore all the nonsense and avoid all the drama noise, can the Clippers really maintain this for the next 7 to 8 months of the season? Can those guys coexist without any major distractions and just be healthy, focus on basketball, and commit? Because this is going to be a one-season thing, if anything. It's going to be a one-year thing. The Clippers might blow it up after this because Kawhi and PG's time has been an absolute disaster due to the injuries and unavailability. And the Clippers, they haven't really gotten past the first round and won more than one game in the first round each of the last 2 years. This is absolutely their last shot. And James Harden, this is his last chance. Everyone probably gave up on James Harden right now, labeled as a playoff choker, but this is his absolute last chance. From going from team to team, being disgruntled, and just bashing his way out aggressively, James Harden might be the moodiest superstar player that we've seen of this generation. James Harden, whenever he wants a trade, he's going to get a trade. He's going to put on his fat suit. If he doesn't put on his fat suit, he's going to go to the strip clubs, or he's going to bash out his GMs and call his guys out and be like, adios. So James Harden, He couldn't win a ring with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. He couldn't win a ring with the MVP Joel Embiid. Kawhi Leonard has 2 rings. Paul George, 0. Russell Westbrook, 0 rings. James Harden, 0 rings. Can James Harden coexist? If we're talking about this James Harden from 3 years ago, or even last year, if James Harden was on the Clippers last year with Russell Westbrook, would they be good contenders if Kawhi and Paul George healthy? Because if this was like 2021 James Harden, they would definitely win the championship like that if they only give up someone like Terrence Man. But can James Harden actually focus on playing basketball and not make excuses? Is he going to complain about Kawhi Leonard and PG low managing, and then James Harden's going to have to carry the load and play 35 minutes a game? Is James Harden going to end up playing more games than the Clippers, like 2 stars this season? Because those guys miss a shit ton of games. You can never really count on that. It seems like Kawhi and PG have their low management problems. They just can't stay on the court. James Harden has his personal feelings problems. Russell Westbrook's going to compete without a doubt. Unless Russ gets a major injury, Russell Westbrook is an old school mentality guy. He's not going to rest. He's going to play probably 70 plus games still at the age of 35. He has very good health, and Russell Westbrook just keeps attacking. So, but is Russell Westbrook going to be okay now, playing 15 minutes a night when needed? James Harden, is he going to be okay? He's pretty much okay. So it's just a matter of time that if those 4 guys can coexist and not have any clicks and really buy in, they have to buy in. James Harden, can he retire from the strip club for the next 7 months and focus on winning a championship? Like, what's going to convince James Harden? Is a championship even worth it for James Harden to stop going to the strip club for the next 7 months and try to win a championship? Then he can own and buy all the strip clubs and spend all the time he wants. But does James Harden care that much about winning a championship? I mean, with the Sixers, they had a shot. They had a real shot at contending. That team was good enough to get to the NBA Finals, honestly, but they absolutely blew it. He blew it. Who knows? The Clippers, they're a wild ride. Could this be just like what the Lakers experienced with Westbrook, LeBron, and AD? That was never a fit. But Russell Westbrook, now with James Harden, those two could play together. But now you add in Kawhi and Paul George. Russell Westbrook, he's a good passer too with James Harden, but Russ can't shoot the ball. The lane needs to open up for Russ. But Zubac is very important to that team. As long as they gave, I don't think they gave up Zubac. There's no doubt that I doubt that. I doubt that. Zubac's still pretty safe, but it seems like it's definitely Terrence Mann. It's interesting to see. Very interesting. It's going to be up to Kawhi Leonard's mentality because I don't see Kawhi Leonard being a superstar player for probably 2026. I think he's going to heavily decline. Kawhi, he could still play like 40-something games or so if healthy, but that's just the problem with the Clippers. They have too much to juggle around. Those 4 guys, if they can play more games than the Brooklyn Nets Big Three combined before the All-Star break, I give the Clippers realistically a 10%, a 5% chance, at getting to the finals. Woj just announced the trade, but 2, Morris, Covington, and KJ Martin. That's it. That's it. Is that really it? Let's see. Adrian Wojnarowski tweeting. Yeah. Oh, they got PJ Tucker too? Oh, interesting. Wow. PJ Tucker going to the Clippers. That's a good deal for them. That's a great deal for them. Yeah. And Nick Batum, he's like 39 years old or something. He's like 30, 35-ish. He was done last year. Marcus Morris never wanted to play, so he's in Philly. Robert Covington, back to the process. The process can't be complete without it ending. Getting back Robert Covington, one of the process pioneers. KJ Martin and draft picks. Okay, at least the Clippers also got PJ Tucker, who's going to get on the team. PJ Tucker's a competitor. He's absolutely a great glute guy. He might as well be like one of the assistant coaches for Ty Lue for now. I'm not worried about the Sixers, honestly. Maxey, he's been absolutely balling. He's probably going to be one of the first-time All-Stars this season. He's absolutely been a stud. Tyrese Maxey, Sixers fans absolutely should be thankful that they they got him in return for the Markel Fultz trade. So that was a great draft pick that was used for one of the fastest players in the NBA. So now you got the Battle of LA. The Clippers have all the stars from Harden, Westbrook, Kawhi, and PG. They're from LA. They're all from like California. And now they're on the same team together. And Russ played his ball at college ball at UCLA, Harden, Arizona State. Interesting, very interesting. How the hell does James Harden go from Russell Westbrook to Kevin Durant, and now just like a year and a half later, he goes to Russell Westbrook again? This guy just likes to bounce around. Like, does James Harden in the strip club in his middle of the lap dances, does he bounce around every 2 minutes from each girl? I bet he does that too. He just can't stay at one spot, James Harden. But he better stay on his best behavior. This is real talk because he needs to prove to himself that he can actually win. Does he need to score 30 points anymore? No, he doesn't. Paul George can score as long as Paul George and Kawhi, two of them plays well. James Harden can add in the playmaker, but James Harden, when he sucks, he really sucks in the playoffs. Can he play off the ball too? Like Russell Westbrook bringing up the ball, is Harden good enough to play off the ball? We haven't really seen him excel in doing that. We haven't seen him really catch and shoot. Does he have the legs anymore to actually play deep in the playoffs? Because he's not a really trustworthy guy come postseason time. How's Kawhi Leonard gonna feel? And Paul George? All of those injuries gonna get taken care of. If I was Steve Ballmer, I would pay billions of dollars to just hire the best doctors in the world. Just come to the Clippers, whatever nagging injuries, just hire five of the best doctors in the world and have some of those guys have their individual doctor specialists, pay them $1 billion each for Steve Ballmer. If that's what's going to take the Clippers to win a championship and get those guys healthy, that could absolutely be worth it. If they're healthy, I do think that they're legit. Harden doesn't need to be too clutch. He can do some of the little things too, like work better on defense. Even though he's slow, he's still a very smart basketball player. He has one of the highest offensive IQs and awareness. So if Kawhi Leonard can still take over games, which we've seen that he does, and he's still one of the most lethal shot creators, plays at his own pace. But how is that going to mesh with James Harden, who loves to pass the ball on the open court and see guys leak out? But Kawhi and PG, they're kind of more of the whole half-court oriented team, so they like to kind of take their time. They both got to figure out what's the best for the situation. So is Harden going to be okay with Kawhi scoring 22, Paul George maybe 18, and Harden scoring like 13 points but dish out 10 assists? And how's Russell Westbrook going to fit in? That's very interesting. And now that he has a Witsel Zubac too, Zubac, credit to him. He's been one of the most professional players, the starting center for the Clippers last couple seasons, and he's been pretty much available and durable, and he is a pretty solid rotational player. So the Clippers, I believe they still have like Norman Powell. Is that it? Wow. Is Harden going to dribble the ball for 20 seconds? He better not. He better not. It's Ty Lue. I do believe that one good thing about like Ty Lue, unlike all the other coaches, I mean, Ty Lue doesn't take shit from anybody. He even calls out LeBron. So if Ty Lue can call out LeBron, why can't he call out someone like James Harden? I do think Ty Lue will have the guts to bench James Harden when Harden's in his bad behavior. You look at the head coaches. I mean, Doc Rivers was a little sick of James Harden already. He personally, I don't think likes James Harden because of his style of play, just like holding the ball for way too long. And the Brooklyn Nets, Steve Nash, that was not a good fit. That was just terrible. Just head coaches. Steve Nash has no control of that team. But I don't think Ty Lue will take shit from James Harden, and James Harden's he might come off the bench like certain times in the fourth quarter. If Kawhi Leonard's going off for like 30 plus points and Paul George hitting his shots and the Clippers are rolling and James Harden's on the bench, is Harden going to be okay like sitting out the last 5 minutes of the game when he struggles? Because when he has those bad games, he absolutely struggles This is the third stop between Harden and Westbrook on 3 different teams: OKC, Houston, LAC. Can you believe that? Can you absolutely believe that? That's just absolutely wild. Just so wild stuff. It's just thinking about it. This team, do they remind you of the '04 Lakers? I don't know. I mean, the '04 Lakers, they had good fit, but they just had a lot of drama, and those guys were super old, but they could have fit in well. Karl Malone, I thought, fitted well with the triangle with Shaq, because think about the '04 Lakers was Kobe and Shaq didn't get along. Like, by the playoff time, Gary Payton looked washed in the finals, and Malone literally, he hurt his ankle, so that was pretty much the end of that, and the Lakers bench was useless. But when you talk about the '04 Lakers, that team started 18-3 overall before they had all those injuries happening throughout the season. So a combination of injuries and the two best players just not getting along and not liking each other, that was an issue. But that team, if they had their shit together, they would have won it all, to be honest. If Karl Malone was like 2 months old, 2 months younger, if Malone was 2 months younger and didn't break down in the finals, I do think the Lakers would have had a shot against Detroit. It would have been close. Yeah, multiple draft pick swaps. So Philly, what's up, Philly fans? Marcus Morris, Nick Batum, Covington. Covington's kind of washed though. He barely plays, but Philly's gonna have to rely on him. Who's Philly's like point guard going forward? Like Tyrese Maxey? They're just gonna build around Embiid, and can they go far? Can they get past the second round? I'm not so sure about that. Will it end up like Melo on the Lakers? Well, James Harden can still ball, dude. James Harden actually averaged 21 and 11 last season. He was still pretty much borderline all-star. Melo on the Lakers was 38 years old. He was pretty washed. So you have that. The Sixers, yeah, I don't think Joel Embiid's good enough as a playmaker to get his sharpshooters, buckets, guys like Maxey, guys like Marcus Morris and Covington. You need a solid point guard to set up those guys. And when the Embiid gets double teamed, he's not Nikola Jokic. That's just the difference. Like, if Nikola Jokic was on that Sixers team instead of Embiid, don't get mad at me, Sixers fans, because you acknowledge that Jokic is the best player after what he did. If Jokic had guys like Robert Covington and he had Maxey as his second option and guys like Marcus Morris, Jokic would have led that team to probably 50 wins and win MVP, have crazy stats. But Joel Embiid's going to get buckets. He's a phenomenal regular season performer. He's probably going to average 32 again. Joel Embiid might win his third straight scoring title, but is it even worth it at this point if he's not going to get past the second round? Something that's never happened with him. So I don't see that. Joel Embiid, if he's not happy, he might not be happy because he's going to really need to work on his passing because he has a lot of shooters and all those wings, but now they don't have a real true playmaker. Who's going to be the leading assist man for the Sixers now? Is it Maxey? Maxey's a good scorer. Joel Embiid's passing a little sloppy, especially playing in the playoffs and good defense. I don't see the Sixers going far, but I do see them. I could see them still getting like a top 4 seed because of how great Joel Embiid is in the East, but I just don't see Philly having a chance against Boston and Milwaukee, especially not with a guy like James Harden, where they just replaced with like Terrence Mann. I guess Terrence Mann is going to be their floor general. That'll be very interesting to see. Is Terrence Mann going to break out? Is he going to all of a sudden be a 15-point-a-game guy and have 7 assists? That's interesting to see. James Harden's style of play will never win a championship. Well, he doesn't score as much anymore. He defers a lot too, but when he doesn't have his A game on, he looks very ugly. James Harden is no longer the Houston James Harden. That James Harden's been gone since for the last 2.5 years, 3 years almost. So James Harden, he's a pass first guy now, but he does still make some terrible decisions. Is he going to realize this is his last chance? Do you guys think James Harden gets it, or he's still living in his own world and caring too much about those biddies at the strip clubs and the dollar bills? Philly needed to give up PJ Tucker, I guess because of the picks. I mean, PJ Tucker, he's leaving Joel Embiid by himself. That's also a big loss too, because PG does a little bit of everything. He does a little bit of everything. How much you want to bet right now? James Harden. James Harden's probably on a flight right now. When do you think he's gonna travel? I mean, James Harden's sleeping well tonight. Like, hopefully, he doesn't pick up 20 pounds from partying at the strip club before he puts his uniform on for the Los Angeles Clippers, because that's very interesting to see. James Harden, Kawhi Leonard on the same team with Paul George. If we talk about this 3 years ago, you would think it's a dynasty, but given how badly James Harden has fallen, damn. Oh, how about I don't think James Harden's going to be available, but Clippers Lakers, they play Wednesday night at Staples Center. The Clippers, how many wins in a row is that? Like 10 straight games or 12 straight against the Lakers? The Clippers been beating their ass since after the bubble, so the Lakers haven't beaten them. Well, James Harden, when's his debut gonna come? Is it gonna come November 6th at Madison Square Garden against the Knicks, or against the Nets November 8th? Who knows? And who knows? But the fact of the matter is, for the West, first week of the season, still lots of confusion going on. But there's no doubt in my mind that the Denver Nuggets absolutely still the favorites to be in the West. Let's not get silly. Let's not overthink this situation, because you talk about the best player in the NBA, Nikola Jokic, the best chemistry in the NBA, the Denver Nuggets, the best duo in the NBA, Jokic and Murray, and the best starting five in the NBA that can all mesh together and all have a role and play comfortable out there, the Denver Nuggets. So, and guess what? The Denver Nuggets 3-0, I believe. They're still undefeated. They're still undefeated. Jokic doing Jokic things as usual. They got amazing chemistry. And when you talk about all the other teams that are behind the Denver Nuggets, you talk about these Clippers, too many questionable game-to-game basis with the low management situation of Kawhi and PG. Those guys, ridiculous with that. And James Harden, who knows how well they'll fit in. And of course, you have the Phoenix Suns. Bradley Beal hasn't even played a fucking game yet. Like, what the fuck has Bradley Beal been doing? Like, seriously, like, no joke. Bradley Beal, how the hell he get hurt before the season starts? Like, does he want to just wait like a month until he comes back? This is not a good sign for the Phoenix Suns. And Devin Booker is all of a sudden hurt too after playing his first game, which he played well against Golden State. And now they're leaving 35-year-old Kevin Durant out there, who I hope doesn't get injured. I hope he stays healthy. But 35-year-old Kevin Durant can't really play all 82 games like that. He might miss some time. And when Durant misses time, he's going to miss several weeks. So the Phoenix Suns, I'm not sure if they're going to ever get their shit together if those guys are unavailable. And the Lakers, too. I'm not sold on the Lakers. You watched the game today against Orlando. That was a mediocre performance. And AD, he's no match for Jokic. Jokic literally ate him in the opener like it was nothing. Like it was absolutely nothing. And LeBron is going to play all his minutes now. Like, if LeBron's going to have to play his 34 minutes a game and get his regular numbers, and the Lakers still be in close games, can a 39-year-old LeBron come like 2024, maintain the style of play when all these teams in the West be chasing playoff positioning? Austin Reeves, the hell has he been after getting his money? Gabe Vincent, was he just a Miami Heat one-hit wonder? All those guys. Taurean Prince, I don't trust. I don't trust these Lakers. And I don't trust Golden State, even though CP and Draymond are two very intelligent players at their positions. But they're just way too small, man. Way too small. I don't trust Klay Thompson. I mean, his defense is nowhere near the same. And sometimes he's just way too cold. And they have no answers for the Nuggets. So the Denver Nuggets are still the favorites in the Western Conference. That's my take on it. If James Harden, healthy Kawhi, and a healthy Paul George against the Denver Nuggets, who am I picking? If I see a 30-game sample size and they both, like, let's say 24-6 overall in 30 games, I'm still going with the Denver Nuggets. You know why? Because Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets, they know what's up. They know how to execute. They know how to look for good shots. Jokic makes his teammates so much better. And James Harden breaks a lot in the playoffs. When was the last time you seen Jokic draw up an air ball in crunch time in the playoffs or an absolute brick that went nowhere? You will never see that from Nikola Jokic because that's how smart Jokic is. How often have you seen Jamal Murray draw up an air ball in the title run? You probably don't even remember that. Every play executed by the Denver Nuggets, perfection. That's absolutely perfection. So you have that. The Clippers will miss Rocco. He barely even plays though. They still have Norman Powell. Damn, they're loaded. They're absolutely loaded. But they got chemistry issues though. Chemistry issues. Batum was a good defender for them, but is Kawhi Leonard gonna have to sacrifice some offense to play defense? Because Kawhi and Paul George both very capable of still being great defenders in the league. So if we have that, but James Harden, Jamal Murray's better than him right now. There's no doubt about that. In my opinion, I don't think that's debatable. Murray and Jokic just knows how to play together. Their skill set complements each other, and both of them can shoot from everywhere on the court. James Harden, I don't know about his legs come postseason time. He's 34 years old and he's been partying a lot. So I don't trust his body to hold up in the playoffs. I don't trust Kawhi Leonard's body to hold up. We seen him get hurt last year, early game one against Phoenix, and Paul George couldn't even play in the playoffs last year. So if you have a team that's hurt, this Clipper team might realistically lose in the play-in. That's still a possibility. How pathetic would that be for James Harden? So if James Harden does in fact make it to the conference finals, but they lose to Denver in 7, is this still a failure for the LA Clippers? Because the Denver Nuggets, in my opinion, they're still the better team. Like, what is a successful season for James Harden without winning a championship? It's a championship or bust. There's no doubt about that. It's championship or bust. But if you talk about talent-wise on paper, I would say Denver, Milwaukee, Boston, and a healthy Phoenix and the Clippers are probably the 5 best teams in the NBA right now. They're probably the best 5. Those other teams are irrelevant in the West. Why do I have to talk about that? I mentioned the 5 teams that I like Minnesota. Carl Anthony Towns always gonna be shit in the playoffs. He doesn't have that killer instinct. Memphis hasn't won a damn game yet, and Ja is still suspended for 21 more games. They lost Steven Adams. They don't have it though. They don't have it. And New Orleans, I don't trust them being healthy. They're like the younger version of the Clippers, the 2 stars always getting hurt, always so unpredictable. I don't trust New Orleans to do anything. And OKC's obviously way too young. They're probably like a year away. I won't be shocked if OKC finishes with a better record than the Clippers. What if OKC eliminates the Clippers in either round 1 as the 4-5 seed or in the play-in? How about that? James Harden about to play with everybody. If the Clippers don't work out, what's James Harden's new team gonna be? Is he gonna go back to Houston? Because James Harden, man, dude, if he needs to win a championship so everyone can forget about all the complicated drama and all this nonsense, a championship would do it for James Harden. Even if Harden becomes like the third option for the Clippers, he averages, let's say, 15 points and like 9 assists. That's still very good player worthy for him to be on a championship team if they win it. But there's too many what ifs for the Clippers last couple seasons not being healthy. Kawhi with his multitude of injuries. I don't see the Clippers winning. I really don't see that. Like, nothing will surprise me about this team at all. Whether they lose in the play-in, whether they lose in the first round, second round, or in the conference finals. But I'm saying a second round exit, in my opinion, because the Denver Nuggets, they're going to be the number 1 seed for sure. Number 2 is a toss-up, to be honest, because if Phoenix is just too unavailable with their stars getting hurt, they're the second best team on paper if healthy. But how many games those big 3 going to play together? I don't see the Lakers having a good record. I don't even see the Lakers winning 50 games. They're 2-2 right now, and they haven't been playing too well, and there's going to be a lot of blaming. The Lakers about to get another star, probably, right? Who you Laker fans want to get next? Now that James Harden is off the market, but he's going to be around the corner in crypto.com arena. Is James Harden even going to last to go to San Diego? Who knows? James Harden trade does nothing. Sacramento a third seed. I don't see it this year. I don't see it. They're going to be probably a 3-4 seed, but they're still pretty small. De'Aaron Fox going to miss some time with his injury, so if he's out for a while, it could be trouble. It could be absolutely trouble. You know who might take down the Clippers? Luka Doncic. Luka Magic coming. He's coming. He pushed Kawhi Leonard to the breaks in the bubble and in 2021. Imagine Luka and Kyrie versus Kawhi and James Harden. How epic would that be? So the Clippers, I don't think that can they be the 2 seed? Dude, I don't trust any team in the West to win over 50 games besides Denver. Like, I wouldn't even be shocked if the 2 seed wins 49 games and the 8 seed wins like 46 games. Like, I can see like 5 teams in the Western Conference having even identical records, 47 and 35. I can see that for 5 different teams. So it's only a matter of time that we'll find out. We're not going to find out who's going to be between the 2 to 8 seed, because I'm gonna put it out there. As long as the Denver Nuggets are healthy, they're by far gonna be the number 1 seed. They might clinch the number 1 seed by March. For all we know, the way they're playing right now, Jokic can probably go back home for the last month of the regular season, enjoy his horses, come back as the number 1 seed, and just dominate the playoffs like he did last season. So the Denver Nuggets are the only safe bet for the Western Conference. All these teams, way too much shit going on, way too much stuff behind the scenes, too much injuries, too much drama, way too much drama. What's up with all these American stars? All this drama, Kawhi Leonard, low management. Oh, I'm not going to play. Paul George, hurt shoulder. Everywhere he's hurt. Oh, I can't play. James Harden, crybaby. The hell is that? Obviously, the Lakers, Anthony Davis, always damage. And then LeBron is old, and then LeBron's always going to go on social media to post his individual accomplishments, which is remarkable, even if he loses in those games too. So LeBron, does he care more about his more individual records that he'll share despite losing many of those games where he breaks the records? Obviously, the Lakers are going to still be the talked about team because they're the Lakers and LeBron is still in the league. And then you have the Denver Nuggets. Those international guys, Jokic and Murray, they just ball out. They don't make excuses. Anthony Davis talking shit about the Denver Nuggets, and he got his shit spanked by Jokic. So the Lakers, the one that tried to talk their shit in the season opener, watched the Denver Nuggets earn their ring, and the Nuggets gave them a spanking. And the Lakers, they had weeks to prepare for that game, but no answer for Jokic, who just came off chilling with his horses and not pick up a basketball, picked up where he left off as the best player in the game. No drama there for the Denver Nuggets. Too much drama with the Lakers, Clippers, Phoenix Suns, Memphis Grizzlies. Lord have mercy. Like, Memphis Grizzlies, they need like some more good vets, and hopefully D Rose is encouraging John Morant to be on his best behavior. And then teams like OKC, I like them. They're a good young team. They're hungry, but I just don't think they're good enough at this stage of their careers. If most of their stars are under 22 years old, but they're going to be great for the next couple years for sure. Give it until like 2026, and they might really contend for a title that year, maybe 2025. And Kyrie Irving has been on his best behavior too, so I got to give him props for that after being a head case last couple of seasons. But him and Luka, man, Luka Doncic is balling his ass out. No, he is absolutely dominating. Like, the shot that he hit against the Nets when he was almost falling out of bounds, just the other side, it was like a hook shot. It was like a jump hook 3-pointer where he just banged. So Luka's just absolutely incredible right now. The Dallas Mavericks, they could be something good. Derek Lively, he's fantastic, but obviously I don't think they're good enough. I don't trust that team to go too far. So yeah, the Denver Nuggets. So for the East, no drama in Milwaukee, it looks like. Boston Celtics, I don't trust them that much, even though they off to a good start. They haven't lost yet. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Joe Mazzulla, as long as he matures as a head coach and doesn't make his mistakes. I can't believe I've been on this live stream for over half an hour now. It's past 3 a.m. in the East Coast, but I'm not leaving yet. I'm just going to go to the chat and answer those questions. Miami playing again. They probably going to make the play in, but I have them as a first round exit. They can't do that same shit as last season. Last season, they actually have guys that step up, and all those guys are gone this year. So I just don't see that. Wemby, Scoot Henderson. Scoot hasn't been playing well. Wemby is fantastic. He is legit. I mean, that guy is super special. He could go down as an all-time great if he stays healthy. Just the way he dominates the game with his length, just catching reverse dunks, running out in the floor in transition, closing out guys, can block anybody's shot. Wemby is so deadly on both ends, and the game just comes natural to him. Like, he could be an all-star this season. He might not be, but by year two, he'll probably be in the top 15 player conversation, like after his rookie year. That's how special Wembanyama is. So I'll just say that. Harden did end up getting his wish. What's Harden's wish? What's Harden's biggest wish? Trying to win a championship or trying to go to as many strip clubs as he can? Like, what's his wish at the strip club after being there so many times and probably doing everything that he already did? Like, doesn't get tired of that? He can have his own strippers for all we know. I guess for some people, booty's more important than dribbling a basketball. But if some of it's late at night, so I'll let you guys think about that one. America in the NBA trying to win an Oscar for best drama ever. Best drama. You talk about drama. Imagine Dwight Howard has a documentary right now on his drama. That would be hilarious. But there's no drama when it comes to Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray trying for a repeat. No drama for Giannis except telling everyone that he's back and he's posting on social media, posting motivational stuff. So with that said, the Los Angeles Clippers getting James Harden, are they going to win it all? In my opinion, absolutely, positively not. As long as Jokic is still with the Western Conference and the Denver Nuggets are here, and Jokic in the prime of his career, he's been unstoppable every single game. You can bet on Jokic to make all the right plays 99% of the time, and the 1% of the time Jokic doesn't make the right play, you be scratching your head like, oh, I forgot this guy's human again and not a basketball savant, because he's the closest thing to a real basketball magician right now. So no, I don't have the Clippers winning it. I see the process as a second round exit because I just don't trust them. James Harden, how many years has it been since he's lost in the second round? He hasn't gotten to the conference finals since 2018. 2019, lost to Golden State. 2020, lost to the Lakers. 2021, lost to Milwaukee. 2022, shit on by Miami. 2023, lost to Boston. 2024, losing to who? Let me know in the comments right now. So there's my take on James Harden going to the Clippers late at night right now. So obviously nobody can function at their highest levels, but it's still the Denver Nuggets. Don't forget about the Denver Nuggets. If people ever try to ignore the Denver Nuggets, they're making a big mistake, man, because right now, James Harden hasn't been a superstar caliber player since his last season with the Nets, really. Before that hammy injury, when Harden was his MVP candidate, that was the last time he was truly an MVP candidate, in my opinion. But he's 34 years old. Kawhi Leonard's like 32, and Paul George is pretty old too, 33 or 34. And Russell Westbrook's obviously 35. LeBron 38, turning 39. Anthony Davis about to turn 31. These LA teams, they're the Kardashians of basketball. How perfect is it? Kim Kardashian partnering with the NBA. The same day, James Harden going to take his talents to LA. The NBA just simply cannot have more celebrity gossip, celebrity drama. I hate all that shit. I don't really pay much attention to NBA players' personal lives. I just love the game of basketball. I and that's all I care about. Players performing on the court at the highest levels. Their personal life, they can just do whatever they want. But as an NBA historian myself, I just love to see NBA players perform at the highest level and achieve greatness and more greatness. Clippers better stay away from the Howard, the take away the WARD, the D, and spell the first two letters of Dwight's last name. Stay away, the Clippers. You guys already have Zubac. You don't need another crazy person like that. A retirement home. The Clippers Lakers. Will we finally see the Battle of LA this year? Will we? In the first round or the second round? Because I don't see neither of those teams beating the Nuggets. I really don't. The Clippers, I could see them possibly beating. Can they even beat Golden State? I think they would, because Zubac would just look like what Nurkic did to them in the first game, right there. The Clippers are they're a pretty loaded team. I'm not gonna lie. With James Harden, they're loaded. But if they just need to stay healthy. Because if they can't stay healthy, that's gonna be an issue. Clippers versus Suns. Who's gonna miss more games? Like, how many games James Harden gonna play this year? 55? Kawhi Leonard, is he gonna play 50? Who knows? The Clippers might not even have a real all-star for all we know. Like, imagine the Clippers, we consider them now a so-called super team, but Kawhi, Paul George, and James Harden might not even play enough games. They might have zero all-stars, and they're considered the team that's like one of the most loaded, and none of their guys might make the all-star team because they're not available. I'm still hating Dwight like that since 2019. I've been hating Dwight for a while. I respect him for his 2020 redemption, but Dwight Howard, he messed up. He messed up. He could still be in the NBA right now, but all that stuff that's going on with him, not looking well. The Clippers gave up Terrence Mann, Morris, Covington, Batum, some draft picks. That's all I know. Harden thinks Ballmer gonna give him a big contract when he finds no way. James Harden gonna quit on the team. How about having a commitment that if James Harden helps the Clippers win a championship, Ballmer's gonna help invest $1 billion for James Harden to own his own strip club in his own private property, couple 100,000 acres, called that Harden Island. If he wants that to make that commitment, if he's down, because James Harden, this is his last chance. He can't mess around anymore. He's playing with fire, and he has the most pressure to win it all this season. I don't know if he's gonna get it done. If Kawhi Leonard don't like him, Kawhi can literally he probably has the most power on the Clippers. Like, oh, get rid of this guy, James Harden. Like, I don't want to associate with him. Who knows? Who knows? Those guys, is it going to be Russell Westbrook, the last man standing? Like, come playoff time, let's say the Clippers are so banged up. We all know Kawhi and PG not durable, and Harden might shit himself in the playoffs. Russell Westbrook's going to have those crazy turnovers and be out of control. But like in a game 6 of the semis, where the Clippers are down 15 in the fourth quarter to, let's say, a team like Golden State or Denver, Russell Westbrook's probably going to be the last man that's just fighting to his limit, that's still there, trying to get every rebound, playing his heart out. Where those two guys, Kawhi and PG, going to be hurt on the bench, and James Harden's just going to be choking. I can see that happening too. So, talking about Harden's almost going to make me choking. With that said, follow me for more YouTube videos like this. I do live streams here and there whenever there's crazy breaking news. And obviously, I'll be talking more about this season and all the craziness that happened. I made a pretty good recent video today. So if you guys want to check that out, it's a really nice video on NBA players who were drafted higher than expected because they were compared to another guy that either looks like them or kind of plays like them in a way. So check that video out for more NBA knowledge, any type of NBA content. I appreciate all your support. You don't want to miss out any of my stuff, and I'm gonna get some rest. You guys in the East Coast, get some rest too. Don't be late for work tomorrow, and I'll see you next time. Peace.